Congratulations to Macarthur FC, winners of the Australia Cup for 2024 after defeating Melbourne Victory 1-0. It's the second time that Macarthur FC have won the Australia Cup in their short history, 2022 and now 2024, and they're returning, of course, to the Asian Champions League too. There is a lot to talk about from this game, including the lineups, team selection, and the match itself, and what it means for the season going ahead. We'd love to get your thoughts on this game, and how do you think Macarthur and Melbourne Victory will both go for this upcoming season? Because I think this cup run has taught us a lot, especially about these two teams. In terms of the lineup itself and the team selection, I mean, we'll touch on the Bulls first of all, and obviously they were missing Valerie Germain, and that was the big blow for the Bulls heading into this match, and I think that was a big factor as to why a lot of us predicted Melbourne Victory to win. That was my prediction. If you saw the prediction video from last week, I tipped Melbourne Victory to win 2-1. I thought they would get over the line in the end. They just had too much quality, and I think the Bulls missing Germain, I think it did affect them in this game. They really didn't create that many opportunities. It was Jed Drew who was starting up top for the Bulls, but sort of that front four players did sort of rotate around throughout the match. Even though they did list it as a back three pre-game, it did turn out to be sort of a 4-4-2 formation, but especially with those wide players dropping back to track the runs of especially Casey Boss down Victory's left-hand side there. And for Melbourne Victory, I mean, the big bizarre one for them, we could make like a full dedicated video on this, is Daniel Arzani being dropped for this Australia Cup final. It is one of the most bizarre decisions we've seen in Australia Cup final history, to leave out such a crucial player, to leave out a Socceroo, to leave out one of Melbourne Victory's best players from last season. But here's what Patrick Isnorba said to Channel 10 pre-game. He said, "It was just a selection thing that I thought was relevant for tonight." He goes on to say, also, we need to get used to it because he's suspended for the first game of the season. Again, a bizarre one. Yes, he's suspended for the last game of the season. He won't be available for round one against Mariners, but it's one game in a season that's, over 20 games long. This is just a bizarre decision from Patrick Isnorba. He also says it's just one of those sort of selection processes that we decided for tonight to go through. So he hasn't indicated an injury. I mean, we feel like he could have easily said that if, he sort of just wanted to brush the question off. Maybe rest him or something like that. But no, it's a selection process. It's a tactical decision, and it's a bizarre one, especially considering that Arzani has been involved in Melbourne Victory's games leading into this match. If he wants to experiment with leaving certain players out, shaking things up, why doesn't he do that in the round of 16, in a quarterfinal, the Australia Cup final, when you need your best players involved in a one-off game? Why would you leave them out? If I'm Daniel Arzani, I'm seriously questioning this move. If I'm a Melbourne Victory fan, I would be questioning this move. I'm trying to imagine, as a Mariners fan, what would it be like if Mark Jackson came to us in the A-League Grand Final and was like, we've decided to leave Josh Nisbet out. He's going to be out for round one. We're going to leave him out just to get used to it. I mean, I would be fuming. I would be furious about that decision. It's a simply bizarre decision, and I can't help but wonder. I've got nothing to go off, but you can't help but wonder that there is more to this situation. I mean, it's just absolutely bizarre. And in the end, I mean, obviously it's just one player. I don't want to go as far as saying that it cost Melbourne Victory in the end, but it blunted their attack just to have, one less option going forward. It was Rene Piscopo who came in for Melbourne Victory, had a decent game. He created some opportunities, especially on in that first half. Virgos, Volupile starting up top once again. But both of those guys were relatively quiet in this game. Aside from that, it was pretty much a full-strength setup for Melbourne Victory. Casey Boss was looking dangerous on that left-hand side, pushing up from that left-back role. But credit to Macarthur's backline, who did such a good job of nullifying those Victory attackers. I mean, Nishan Volupile has been one of the best players in this cup run so far. He's been scoring goals for fun, already 5 in the cup run so far, and he was completely nullified in this game. It was really impressive the way Macarthur stayed so organised. That back four was staying super tight and well positioned, and then those two defensive midfielders I think have been really key for Macarthur, especially in the last few games. Both Liam Rose and Luke Bratton, so solid there. And Luke Bratton, again, winning another Australia Cup. He did it last year with Sydney FC. This is a guy who is such a good player, and I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. It was a big move going from Sydney FC to Macarthur FC, a real change-up for Luke Bratton, a player who is maybe coming towards the end of his A-League career. And it's a great win for Macarthur FC. I mean, it's been a great signing, and he's been super solid in defensive midfield for them throughout this run, and I think will be one of the most important players for Macarthur heading into this season. Throughout the match, it was a fascinating battle. It was Melbourne Victory who were dominating most things, but Macarthur FC did look dangerous on the counter-attack at times. The stats quite fascinating, though. 66% possession in the the end to Melbourne Victory. They managed 22 shots, just 6 of those on target. So probably we're hoping for better shot accuracy there for sure. Macarthur FC, 6 shots, just the 1 on target. And it was their 58th minute, Mariniakalish finishing off a blistering counter-attacking move from Macarthur FC. And that's the way they had to go. They had to utilize the pace. Without Jermaine, they had Jedru, Mariniakalish, these speedy players to get in behind. And they punished Macarthur in the end. I thought Jake Holman had a great game too. He was very lively when Macarthur were getting forward. But again, it's a similar situation from the last couple of weeks. 3 consecutive 1-0 wins for Macarthur FC in the quarterfinal, semi-final, and final, all against Victorian opposition away as well. Heading into the upcoming A-League season, this might be what we expect from the Bulls for this season, where they don't necessarily concede many goals. It's a bit reminiscent of Western United in their championship winning season a few years ago, where there was many 1-0 victories, and that might be the way forward for Macarthur this season. They've signed another Belgian centre-back who hasn't even featured yet for them, Dino Arzani, who's going to slot in summer in that defence. We'd expect as well. Macarthur are heading into this A-League season really confident in their defence now that I think they could hold out just about anyone in the A-League, and to hold victory scoreless at their own home ground as well. Really, really impressive performance. And of course, we have to talk about Philip Kurto. This guy is just having an incredible time at Macarthur FC. He was great. He's been great for the last few seasons. But this Australia Cup run, he's come up with some phenomenal saves. And in this game, he saved Macarthur again many times. And we have to talk about this guy now as being one of the top goalkeepers in the A-League. I think he probably has been for a few years, but maybe the fact that he has been at, smaller clubs, new clubs in Western United and Macarthur SC, he maybe hasn't really gotten the spotlight that maybe the likes of an Alex Paulson or a Paul Izzo has recently gotten. But this guy is up there as one of the top goalkeepers in the A-League and has been absolutely phenomenal for Macarthur, and he's going to be, once again, huge for them this season. Overall, just to touch on Melbourne Victory, I don't think they played a bad game. I think Victory dominated this game. They created opportunities, but they were just coming up a defence who were just rock solid tonight, and a goalkeeper who was just on top of their game. I mean, there wasn't really much else they could do in the end. Melbourne Victory obviously would have helped having, another attacking outlet in Daniel Arzani there. At the end, they just weren't able to break through this solid Macarthur defence, and the Bulls winning in the end 1-0. An incredible result for the Bulls, who win another Australia Cup in their short history. They've picked up 2 Australia Cups. They become the 4th team to pick up multiple Australia Cups after Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC, and Adelaide United. They turning into the new Cup specialists for the new era, Macarthur FC, potentially. So, a fascinating game overall. Congratulations to the Bulls. Very interested to see how Macarthur go this season. And that's the question I want to ask you guys. Where do you think the Bulls will finish this season? Based on some early data predictions from what we're seeing from people online, a lot of people are predicting Macarthur to maybe slip out of the top 6 this year. I don't know, man. I mean, based off how they're performing defensively at the moment, they're putting in some real gutsy performances, and the team spirit there seems to be really, really strong at the moment. I'd expect them to be contesting right into finals again this year. For Melbourne Victory, yes, they did lose this game in the end, but it's been a phenomenal cup run. That was only the 2nd goal they've conceded in this cup run, and they'll be really, really strong this season as well for the upcoming A-League men's campaign. What did you guys make of this game overall? Drop your thoughts and review in the comments down below. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out to support the channel. We've got lots of A-League content coming out over the coming weeks as we get closer and closer to the kickoff of the 2024-25 A-League men's season. My name's Lockie, this is Coast Watch Football, and I'll see you guys in the next one.